Welcome, my friends, to the latest edition of the Wise Conservatism's Videoside Chat number 31 on this, the 28th day of November in the year of our Lord, 2009. What a double standard that we allow the liberals to live by. In Miami, a bunch of posters went up showing a beautiful 8-year-old girl standing with a thought bubble over her head with the words in it, "President Obama's daughters get healthy school lunches. Why don't I?" Of course, within 24 hours of the posters going up, the White House asked the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine to take them down. Thankfully, they are refusing. These ads featured Jasmine Messiah, a vegetarian who attends Miami-Dade County's public schools, that she says offers no vegetarian or vegan lunch options. They said that they felt that mentioning the president's girls or children was off limits. They said that they're not going to allow the use of the president's daughters as leverage. Oh, really? Okay, let me get this straight. Using Obama's kids in the news or ads for posters or anything else is off limits now. But when it came to former President Bush's girls, that was a different story then, wasn't it? Huh. If I am remembering right, and I know that I am, I remember a big flap in the news of one of the Bush girls being a lesbian. That was in the news for weeks, and it didn't do anybody any good, but it was sensationalist news that they felt would hurt President Bush. They did everything they could to hurt President Bush. And if I remember right, nothing came from the liberal side then about how the president's kids were off limits. And I don't think any of you heard anything like that unless it came from the conservative side. Remember all the big to-do in the media another time when the girls of then President Bush were found to be party animals. There was nothing said about how the president's kids were off limits. Footage of this was all over the place. It was on the internet, it was on the news, it was in the newspapers, it was in magazines, rags like the National Enquirer. It was in all of these. The liberal press said it was their right to print and put out stuff like this because they were protected under the First Amendment. Something that now doesn't seem to matter at all. Now the Obama girls are just mentioned, and that's all it is. They are just mentioned. And the uproar comes out that they cannot be used for anything. But you have to stop and think about this for a bit, guys. You can't have it both ways. Even though you think you can, and you've had it both ways in the past, you can't. Even Frank Luntz, a Republican political consultant, said that the White House's response to the posters is hardly shocking. Of course. He says the children of the president are always off limits, and you have to listen to what this man says here. He says the children of the president, and this is a quote, are always off limits. Always. No exceptions, Luntz says. No ifs, ands, or buts. And while it may draw short-term attention to the issue, the White House will hate the organization for it. And I assure you, they will be punished. You don't mess with the president's children. It's an unwritten rule. But during Bush's presidency, that unwritten rule was thrown out the window. Mr. Luntz, what about all the stuff written about the Bush twins? Weren't they supposed to be off limits too? If you can't remember or can't answer that one, sir, I will tell you. Because the Democrats, and apparently you too, live by different rules. And they are each, there are two of them, and they are each different. And they and you expect everyone else to do the same too. And a lot of you do. Here they are. 1. The president's kids, or any Democrat, are off limits no matter what to anything that the press or the media or anyone else says about them. If this isn't followed, then trouble will follow, and I guarantee you that. 2. The president's kids, or any Republicans, are not off limits. Keep it sort of within reason, and you will not be stopped from saying anything about them in the print media, on the internet, or anything. There you have it, folks. What is good for the goose, or the Democrats, is not good for the gander, or the Republicans. We have to stop and ask, where is this going to end if we do not stop this Obama political train wreck, or the liberal political train wreck, from gathering more speed down the tracks to this nation's derailment that is in our future? It has become very apparent that the politicians who are in power do not wish this to end. But do we? I guess we'll find out in 2010 and 2012, won't we? This is Robert the Infidel Guarding with this edition of Wise Conservatism's Videoside Chat. Have a great and blessed week.